Greetings, greetings, all divine beings. It is witchypoo coming back to you with another video. And if you are feeling kind, please subscribe. The hotel staff, they say there was two involved with providing Payne unknown substances. And this is where it went AWOL. So we don't know anything about these two hotel staff, let alone seeing that they never really came out with their story. There's no footage from the security, just him acting erratically, and we have hearsay, okay? So we're just going to flip a few cards on the situation and the scenario regarding Payne and the two hotel staff members because we know nothing about them, okay? But in the spirit of tarot, this is kind of how we're going to go and play. If you know any information, please go ahead and drop it in the comments or after the replay. Join the circle. Now, before we get started, the Six of Cups have passed out. When we see the cups, we're talking about feelings of some sort. And there is forgiveness here. I don't know if this is coming from Liam or this is coming from the person that was in charge of this whole ordeal that they had to walk away from. But either way this goes, there is moving forward in this whole scenario. Okay? All right, let's just break the cards and see where we go. All right, this inquiry did come from myself. If you guys have any more pieces to the puzzle you'd like to present, please feel free to tap in. I appreciate all of you for being here. And here we go. Let's begin. A scenario in Argentina with Payne and being provided these narcotics, and he started acting a certain way. Can we relate to the answer of this being any accuracy behind it all, or is this all fake? All right, the first card we have is community. So there is people behind what is being believed. Then we got the praying mantis. This is the energy of manipulation. But it's also funny, and I don't find it hilarious, okay? Some people in this whole ordeal may. And then we have the intellect, and Carson is here. So there's smoke on what we've witnessed and a connection to these two men that have something to do with Liam. But I don't believe that this is being, I don't believe that this is true. I believe that there's smoke around a connection. What we were witnessed, what we watched is something that just doesn't feel correct here. The final card, I think we're going to stop with 4. Maybe I'll draw 2 more. Is a trick, is behind all of this. So drawing in the spirit of the question presented, there is a trick behind. Agatha Christie is confirming it. Okay. Could you please tell me more about this community? Leslie Marman-Silko is here. In regards to these two hotel staff, tell me more about them if this is even true at all. So we've got the 8 of Swords tied behind the back. There is some control over this situation. We've got Judgment, Temperance, and the Star. Almost a full deck. With there being control in this community, we're just going to start here. That people are in agreement to not really say anything different, because there is surrender here, but it's in a different form. Not in surrendering as if they would tell something. This is empowerment, empowered. I'm going to start with Temperance in reverse. Sagittarius is here, and there is extreme recklessness and a discord. Nothing makes sense as far as what this community witnessed, watched, and agreed with. And I say that because, this is something that just feels very, very haste, very, very fast. It's self-indulgence. So if these two people had something to do with that, why is there so much lessons learned here that feel not incorrect? The blame is exactly, it's taken some steps. The blame has taken some steps. What does that mean in Judgment? The steps being taken in learning something here. It's a decision the book. You'll see him if you look. You'll see him if you look. What can you read between the lines? Um, Tell me what I should be seeing. Tell me what I should be seeing between the lines, please. As far as the surrender, empowerment. These people were kind to him and confused him with love, confused him with bearing gifts. If anything, they gave him complimentary, what's it called? Concierge. They gave him things so he could, they showed their kindness so he could rest. Earth energy is tapped into this. So they're playing in his face that they were doing things to make him feel loved in all way, even though he was going through something to get away. And they use kindness. So as far as what they're saying about these two men, we have to read between the lines. They have signed up for something that I feel is to have some sort of blame for a realization. But this is what worked out because this is all the hope that in the faith of the story that they told. And I feel like this really never got to travel or go anywhere else in this Aquarius energy because this was truly inspired. This was inspired by somebody that has pure and total control. Please help me understand, since we're reading between the lines in this community, about the praying mantis. So this means manipulative energy. Where is this coming from regarding the two hotel staff and Liam? There's the Tower, Aries in reverse. You know, it's always things that are we can't avoid, but it's here that it was the inevitable. You got the Magician and then the Ten of Pentacles. We're being manipulated here by a lot of people. Now, trickery has come out twice, that these men had to give Liam something and he started acting erratically. That is a lie. There is deception and mental clarity coming through at this time. And if we could just, it's too late now to really, go after these men. We don't even know their names or where they're at, where they're from. But this is all misaligned energy. But it worked. It worked for the public because it disconnected a blame, that disconnected a blame that they were really treating him good. They were really treating him happy. I'm working on a video and I found a lot of different images, and he did look intoxicated, but not erratic. It looked like he was on vacation, taking pictures, trying to get an escape away from something. But to know that we have the inevitable here just from what I saw on the screen is something we couldn't avoid because he was resisting things. Liam was resisting change, resisting what people were saying. Let me in. What does that mean in the spirit? What are you trying to say? They were on the hunt from him regardless. So he was trying to go over there to get away. And these two men that they said that they gave him something is a lie in the Sagittarius energy. They were giving him luxury. This is just a backup, so there's no full person to be blamed. But if they're saying it's Liam regardless, right, in some way. But they used intellect behind this. So tell me more about this. There's the lovers. There's no more shared effort now. And there's a lot of conflict and trust issues between these two people and this whole story that went down. I'm definitely going to start with the Hangman now. Because they stalled. This is a stall. To say these two people had something to do with Liam's fall, it's a stall to say that. If anything, they were standing there waiting him to catch, waiting to pick him up, to carry him off. And what really feels really negative is that, this was a sacrifice of some sort. And I'm not understanding why. Where the sacrifice really comes in, because if there's conflict, it's just bad energy. Leave it. But that's not it. There is imbalance, and it had to be some sort of detachment where he no longer was here, so they had to use people around. Four of Wands. This is a lot of people who were, they put him around people and put him in a situation where he was not welcome. But I don't think that he knew that these people around, or somebody in particular, was out to get him. He may have thought he got away from some sort of conflict. But you see, it's still an unstable feeling. It still doesn't feel strong. It still doesn't feel right. With this Page of Swords, there's something rude and cynical behind this whole thing in Argentina. Okay? These men, these two men, are nowhere in giving him anything. This is just a bad plan, and they had to have other people being blamed. There were other people watching him fall, and this is the trick that I think we're going to get to today. You know, why did these people have to be used in some way? I want to go back. You got the wheel, you got the knight, and you got the page of staffs. Tell me something very quickly about this trick and the intellect. Something that they didn't want to deal with anymore when it came to Liam. There's Capricorn energy in this. And then we have obsession, because that's pretty much where it was coming from, as far as people like bothering him, trying to control whether he lived or died, in a sense. These two men from Argentina have nothing to do with this whole deal that they're trying to manipulate us to believe. Time will eventually tell what really happened. And there's three men that were after him, but the hotel staff gave him nothing to that effect. Where am I at? The wheel. All right. Final three. I'm going to flip three more of the literary witches to end this. When I told you it's just bad planning, that's really what it is. They had to use those two men to have some sort of delay in the media, the control, for people to hear whatever made sense to what they were saying. So they had to cling to this control. These two men definitely did not know what they were up for, because they were pretty much set with the belief that what they were going to do, they were going to be paid for. This was a great idea. Just listen. Here, come here, go with it. They can probably barely speak English. They barely know anything as far as money is concerned and what they're worth here. This wasn't really a risky ordeal, because they were willing to accept anything to kind of be the defense, to be the shield, to take the fall. These men do not really know anything about this young man, or, you know, the importance as far as this situation. They knew they weren't going to be blamed for something. There's a snake that they're standing on right there. Family is involved. They're a group of family in that hotel. So do not think that these people work alone. They all know each other, very much so. They witnessed and watched some sort of negative, fiery energy come and try to take control. We've got history, Jamaica Kincaid, always right before it's time to go. Trust your instinct on what you think and feel that you know. That is much more realistic than what we have been told through the media. I want to know what this boar is. I forget all the time. Aggression, masculinity, and danger when it came to the boar. So he was in danger from stepping into that hotel room just for off jump, simply because these people were all like connected together and they knew that death was coming. And it's just unfortunate. And that's the dirty laundry behind this secret. These two men, they gave him nothing. They're not even involved here.